You've been through the ringer, you've seen everyone and no one's treated you, come in, see one of our practitioners, and yeah, we'll be able to give this work to you, get you back performing, whether it's running, playing footy, whatever it is, playing with your kids. Women sometimes get it after pregnancy. But yeah, it can be such a key to OP and that sort of pain at the base of the abs. Feels pretty red hot in this area, so yeah, I'm just going super slow, not really moving, just pinning. I can actually feel it feels a bit angry here on hinge.
Yep.
But you don't have any pain in this area?
Nah.
Nah.
It's good to do maintenance though, eh?
That's right.
Proactive rather than reactive.
And people with OP will be like, oh yes, that's the spot, that's where I feel it. Or we can actually ask for guidance. Is it more this way or is it more on top of that pubic bone? G'day guys, Jason Ninja here. Today I've got 4 spots. If you're suffering groin pain or osteitis pubis, this is the treatment for you. So if you come in close, Leo, what we're going to focus on, we've got our anatomy trains book here. So we're going to focus on iliacus, psoas, the top of the pubic symphysis, and then the adductors. So they're the 4 most common areas that we find with people that suffer from osteitis pubis or groin pain that are generally linked with that issue. So we're going to start off with iliacus, so our favourite of the hip flexor muscles. So we're going to get Ninja to take a nice deep breath in and out, and we're just slowly sinking in. It's pretty tender, so we don't have to go in too hard too quickly, especially if you've got a bit of discomfort in there. If you've got osteitis pubis, there's 2 common spots that it does pop up. You can either get it at the base of the abs here at that pubic symphysis or in the groins where they attach onto the pelvis there. So we're going to target those spots. But yeah, the hip flexors here quite commonly get tight and sore and contribute to pain in those areas. So I like to just start with these as it's a bit of an easier way to build into it rather than going straight into the intense pain, as it can be pretty full on in the groin and that pubic symphysis area as it's quite bony. But yeah, if you've seen a lot of other practitioners and you haven't got this manual therapy or treatment done, yeah, you need to get this sort of work done, because there's still so many people out there that are getting advised to go and rest for 4, 6, 8 weeks, do nothing, and then return to sport or return to training or whatever it is that they're doing. But you need to get good deep tissue work, because there's been scar tissue that's built up, there's muscle imbalances. That's the main cause of osteitis pubis or groin pain. It is an imbalance around this pelvic area. So if you just rest, yes, the pain goes away because you're not doing anything, but as soon as you go back to activity, that pain will re-aggravate. So you need to get this work, clear out the muscles that are overworking and tight and causing pain, and then start to add in some strengthening exercises that are going to correct that imbalance, all right? So it might be resting from what is aggravating your pain. So if it's running, yes, you might have to wind back to running for a little bit, but you don't just stop and rest completely. We will give you treatment and then start to prescribe an exercise plan that's going to correct that imbalance. So we've slowly sunk in a little bit further in there on Ninja. As you can see, he's struggling a little bit in there. So we're just pinning and holding, and we can start to slowly change our angles. There's a little bit down there. So just waiting until it softens up. We don't go into too much active or passive treatment or range of motions too soon. We just want to accept and get to that depth where we can feel the blocks and the tightness. And then once we're happy that it started to calm down, Ninja's a bit more receptive of the treatment because it's pretty uncomfortable in these areas. Then we can start to add in some movement. You can quite often get a little bit of referral pain from these spots into that pubic symphysis or sometimes down into the quad. So yeah, always checking in, or if you're getting the treatment, letting your practitioner know that you are getting some sensations. It's good feedback that we're on the right spot. So yeah, once we're happy that we've felt that started to release, what we can start to do is just getting Ninja to keep as relaxed as possible, and then I'm just going to slowly start to move. So I'm keeping my thumb in the same spot, and then we can just start with small motions. So we're just getting that knee and hip to bend a little bit and then back down. Again, trying to keep it as passive as possible, which means I'm moving it, and then we can start to actually take it through a bit more of a full range. So we bring the knee up and then slowly starting to bring the hip up into flexion, and we can start to feel where there might be some blocks in that range. There might be a hard end feel, as we bring the knee up, you can hit a spot where it just feels like it doesn't want to move. So we can just work before that range and soften it up that way. And slowly back down. So you can see I'm still in that same spot there and just slowly either working my way down or I can come up a bit higher up here. All right, so once you've fully cleared out that iliacus, I'll come around the other side and I'll do a bit of psoas. So psoas attaches onto the front side of our spine. And yeah, so we're just gonna get just to the side of the abs there, slowly sink down. And then we can get Ninja to just slowly lift his knee up towards his chest. And you can feel the psoas pop back up when you get him to activate it that way. That's it, and then just relaxing down there, Ninja. Again, psoas can get some referral pain into that pubic symphysis at the base of the abs. But yeah, we've had so many people that have come in and they've seen that many people and they've never had treatment either in this area or targeted to the groins or where they're actually feeling the source of their pain. People will treat around it, but they don't actually go to where the source of the pain is. And I was actually talking with a client the other day that's suffering it. I think it's the only condition, even in professional sporting industry, where we've had clients that have, got the top physios in the industry, you would think, but they're still not doing this treatment for osteitis pubis. It's the only condition where someone's got it and they advise rest. Every other thing, they're doing some sort of treatment and strengthening to correct it. But when it comes to OP, it's the only thing where they don't treat it. And it just doesn't make sense to us because you can get such great relief and actually fix it by doing this sort of work. So, yeah. If you've been through the ringer, you've seen everyone and no one's treated you, come in, see one of our practitioners, and yeah, we'll be able to give this work to you, get you back performing, whether it's running, playing footy, whatever it is, playing with your kids. Women sometimes get it after pregnancy. And then we'll sink out of there. So we could treat that for a bit longer, but I'm just going to fast track it. So what I'll get to Ninja to do is just to locate his pubic symphysis. So it's a good way just to make sure you know where you're going, especially if it's on a guy or females that way. They just feel a bit more comfortable. So you can do it above the clothing. So yeah, Ninja's pointed where it is. And again, it's nice and slow because it's not much coverage here. It's just straight on the bone.
Yeah.
So we can either go at the moment on top of the pubic symphysis there, or sometimes it's at the front and angling back into it, which is Ninja's favourite muscle, which is Ninja?
Pyramidalis.
Pyramidalis. There it is. It's probably one of the smaller muscles in the body. But yeah, it can be such a key to OP and that sort of pain at the base of the abs. It feels pretty red hot in this area. So yeah, I'm just going super slow, not really moving, just pinning. I can actually feel it feels a bit angry here on Ninja.
Yep.
But you don't have any pain in this area?
Nah.
Nah.
It's good to do maintenance that way.
That's right.
Proactive rather than reactive. It's a good way to live.
And we're just holding, waiting. We can slowly start to change angles. So I've just moved literally probably an angle of a couple of millimeters, and you can feel a different little hard spot push back into my pressure. And people with OP will be like, oh yes, that's the spot, that's where I feel it. Or we can actually ask for guidance. Is it more this way or is it more on top of that pubic bone? Yeah, so these are the four main areas, but there are other areas that we can expand out and work through. TFL, quads, glutes and lower back have an association with osteitis pubis as well. But today we just wanted to show you the four key points at the front here. And just working our way around that whole pubic symphysis.
Good, man.
And it is just a lot of this work, just pinning and holding. We're not doing flushing strokes. It's quite often, yeah, people have had it for a long time. So it just requires that solid connection where you're melting and softening those tissues that become hardened and solidified, and getting some flow back in there. Some people often get advised to go and have surgery for it. And yeah, through our experience, I'm sure there's people that maybe have had good results with it, but from our experience, most people don't get relief from having surgery in this area. So yeah, come in, get this work before you go under the knife. So just holding the knee up a little bit there, just so we're supporting it, and I'm just slowly sinking in. So I'm right at the side of that pubic bone. So I'm sinking in high into those adductor tendons, where I can actually sit under the gracilis tendon. And I'm either angling straight up at the moment, so my pressure's going this way, or I can change my elbow and angle in more towards the actual pubic bone. So now I'm on a 45, my pressure's more that way, but I'm still hitting those tendons. So some people are right on that pubic bone, so this sort of angle, and then some cases it's more just on that tendon, so we're more angling straight up. How are you feeling there, Ninj?
Yeah, there's probably more into the pubic bone at the moment.
More a bit that way. And you can normally feel with someone that's had sort of chronic groin pain, it just feels really solid. And you've got to we take time getting into these spots. Like, yeah, it might take us 5 minutes to get into the depth that we need to, just because it is quite a sensitive area. There's quite a lot of pain in there normally. So yeah, we won't go straight into 100%. Got to build into it and build that trust. But then once we're in there, yeah, we're getting the work done. Getting to those key spots.
Plug our calendar too. What do you reckon, Joe?
Plug our calendar? Yeah. These are the fresh undies. What have we got, Ninj? Nobby's undies?
Have a look, yeah. Marine
where can they jump on and get the calendar?
I think you can buy it online.
Online, yeah.
Yeah, you get it drop shipped to wherever you live in the world. So, and you're in the chance, if you get in before, I think Australia Day, which is 26th, we're going to probably do it on the 24th. We might draw...
24th or 25th, yeah.
Yeah, we might draw the prize.
What can they win?
So you can win 12 treatments, a year's supply of treatments, and saunas and lift clubs and sprint
Unlimited
clubs.
lift and sprint, so if you're keen to come to our gym classes and get stronger and get better at sprinting, all year.
Yeah, there's
How
10.
good's that?
Yeah, there's 10 prizes. So and if you're overseas or wherever, we'll give you equivalent value. So it'll be video calls,
fitness courses, online calls and Zooms, and
we'll look after you. So yeah, even if you don't win, you still get our calendar.
It's a good product.
It's a beauty. We're really proud of that. And
who took the cake this year, Ninj? You reckon Das was best on again?
Das, yeah,
he's got some modelling criteria, doesn't he?
He's a model.
He's got the blue steel and just sort of knows how to work it.
Work the camera. Das.
Alright, so we might just move the towel a little bit just so we can actually show where we're going here for the viewers at home. So yeah, that's right up into those tendons where we are. So we're sinking in there and then angling in that way. So hopefully you can see, still pretty hard, but yeah, you get the gist. We're right at the top of the adductors. We're not down here. We're not in the middle of the belly. It's right where they attach. So we're angling in, and then we can start to bring the knee up, sometimes shortening it, just helps us get in that little bit further. And then we can slowly let it drop down. In some cases, people, when they're really tight, their leg actually starts in this position when we start treating. So, and then as you treat it more and more, you just start to see it slowly comes down. So that just shows how tight those adductors have been. So yeah, sometimes we can sit in here for 10, 15 minutes even. It's just working this whole adductor complex, freeing it up. If it's been in there for years or months even, yeah, there's a lot of compensation, a lot of scar tissue, a lot of adhesions built up in those tendons. Yeah, we'll sink out of there. So there it is, guys. There's a snapshot of the 4 key spots to focus on if you're suffering groin pain or osteitis pubis. If you haven't got any results with it, come in and see us. Or if you have just started suffering from it, yeah, book an appointment and we can help you out. Thanks, guys. See you later.